In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a complex 2D drawing in CAD. Sometimes when you look at the drawing, you know you can create the line and circles individually, but when they are put together, you just do not know where to start. So I'm going to use this example to show you how I would do this drawing. And I can start in here, or in here, or in here, but usually I will start where I can draw two lines. And I can draw two lines in here, vertical line and horizontal. I can actually draw two lines in here, vertical and horizontal. Then I have a base. I'm going to start in here this time. So I'm going to draw a vertical line and then a horizontal line. Undo. So this is a horizontal line. And then, because of that, I have this center point. I'm going to use this center point to create this arc. I'm going to use a circle and create this arc. Basically, it's a circle. Now, because it is overlapped with this line and that line, if it's not long enough, just extend the line after you create a circle until they cross each other. And then you can trim it. You can trim whatever in here. You can trim this. So once you trim it, you have this arc. And then you can create this arc. Now to create this arc, the problem is I do not know where the center is. Now I have to trace that center. What happened is that this point is the intersection between this arc and that arc. So they are tangent to each other. And because they are tangent, this line, this point, let's say this arc, from this point to here is 1 inch. And then from this point to here is 0.8 inch. So the difference between them is going to be 0.2. So basically I can copy this line up 0.2 inch or use offset 0.2 inch to create another line here. Then I can create a second center point. Now I have an intersection. I can use this center point to create another circle. Basically I have the circle in here. Again, I have to trim the part that I don't need. And now what I would do is extend this line all the way to here. And now I can trim this portion and whatever on the outside in here as well. So I have this arc all the way to here. So I have this arc and that arc. Now I can continue to draw this portion by knowing this point, 4.4 inch to that point. Or I can start in the inner circle. So I'm going to start with the inner circle. This is a little bit more complex, so I'm going to delete these lines. Now again, I know I already have this arc all the way to here, and I have this arc. Now, this point I already have because this arc, I have this line, this point, I have this here. It is easier for me to draw this line because I can draw a 0.25 inch line towards to the left, and then I can go up, draw this line 0.8 up, and then I can draw another line 1 inch 0.1 to the right. So in CAD you can do that very quickly. Now the problem is I do not know this center point, and this center point basically is 0.7 inch from this arc, right? This is 0.7 inch. I just do not know where this point is. However, I do know this point. This is the point that I go from left, up, right, 0.1. This point, I know this point and this distance is 0.7. All I have to do is to use this point to create a circle. And then the intersection of this circle and this line, the horizontal line, is going to be the center point. And once I find this center point, I use this center point to create the arc in here. And with that, once I create this circle, basically go like this, and then I can delete this circle I was using, this circle I was using, and then trim this portion. Actually, I can trim now because it's long enough. I can trim the bottom one. So now After this, I have 3 arcs. I have this one in the beginning. I have this one afterwards, the second. And of course, I have these 3 lines, 1, 2, 3. And I also have this arc all the way to here. Now I have these 3. So what I can do now is to start in here. Because I know this point, basically I can create a line using this point. I can either copy this line, this vertical line that I have, 1 inch to the right. So copy or offset 1 inch, I get this line. And then I do it again, offset 4.4, I have this line. So I have this line now. And then this line, I have the horizontal one, I just extend it all the way to here. So I have this line, I have this vertical line, and now I have this horizontal line. Again, I'm going to offset this 0.5, which is this number. Now I have this line all the way. So now all I have to do is to apply a fillet in here. And again, I can apply a fillet between this line and this arc in here. Now the trick is, make sure you're not greedy to draw everything at once. You just have to draw 1 arc at a time. And you draw a circle, make sure you trim the stuff that you don't want, the portion that you don't want. And same thing to the line, don't create too many lines. If you create so many lines at once, you will get confused. You don't know which one to trim and which one to extend. But if you draw 1 line or 1 arc at a time, and you can trim it, you can extend it, and then until you perfect that line or that arc, and then you move on to the next. Just like what I did, I start with this arc by drawing a circle, trim the rest, and then draw the second one, I draw the circle, trim the rest, and then I do the same thing. I draw this line, only this portion of this line here, and the vertical and the horizontal, these are just short lines, and I'm not drawing anything long, so that it does not confuse me. And then after that, I create another circle to get this point, and then use this point to create another arc. And when I create another arc, I make sure it deletes the one that I don't use. After that, so then I can trim whatever I don't need. Then I have pretty much this portion, the very complex portion, done. And then I can just use offset to create the rest. And that's how I would do a relatively complex drawing.